How does that song go? We need a little Christmas right this very minute. Boy, don't we ever. If there was ever a time that we needed to be uplifted with the Christmas message of hope and joy, it is now. What a year this has been. We are tired of hearing about and reacting to the COVID pandemic. Who here or watching on live stream hasn't been affected in some way or another by the coronavirus? No one has been immune from the effects it has had on life as we knew it. But I know one thing for sure, the coronavirus did not affect Santa. Right, kids? Did Santa get to your house? Yeah. You know why? Because he was in quarantine almost all year at the North Pole. So he had to be busy making your gifts and toys. Add to the stress of the pandemic is the racial unrest and political acrimony we've experienced in our country. In our personal life, we might be dealing with the loss of a job or tensions in our marriage, problems in our relationships with children, both young and adult ones. Serious and disturbing issues continue in our world. The constant threat of terrorism, whether the coronavirus vaccine is safe, and when will it be safe to travel again? And we worry about the future. So here we are, gathered to celebrate Christmas with restrictions on the number of people allowed in church, being socially distanced, wearing masks, and asked not to sing. How can we not sing those familiar Christmas carols? Even those who usually don't sing in church sing Christmas carols. So whether you have celebrated 20 Christmases or 40 Christmases or 60 Christmases, over the years the pattern becomes rather clear. Even while this Christmas may be unlike any Christmas you've celebrated before, Christmases come and go, and the world remains largely the way that it is. That can make us cynical, especially this year. That can make us wonder whether we should believe that proclamation of the angel of good news of great joy. That can make us doubt whether we should place too much credence in the announcement of peace on earth. So therefore, the most valuable thing we can do today is to examine what we believe happened that first Christmas and where we expect Christmas joy to be found. So consider this story I read on the internet. A harried executive was running late for an important business meeting. The traffic was not helping either his schedule or his mood. He pulled to a stop at a light at one of the busiest intersections of the city and thought to himself, I can beat the next light if I can just get ahead of this crowd. So he took his foot off the brake and put it on the accelerator, ready to floor it as soon as the light turned green. But he saw something that made him hold his breath as he was about to hit that accelerator. A young couple, both of them blind, were making their way across the street. The young woman was holding a child, and the man was using his white-tipped cane, tapping it on the pavement as he directed his family across the intersection. To the executive's horror, he realized that this family was veering diagonally out of the crosswalk and into the center of the intersection and the traffic. Unaware of the danger that surrounded them, this young family was moving directly into the oncoming cars. Then it happened. In a moment, The executive's annoyance and fear changed to wonder as he saw what unfolded before his eyes. Each car in every direction came to a simultaneous stop. There was no beeping or honking of horns, no screeching of brakes, no scream or shout, "Get out of the way, are you crazy?" All the cars just stopped and waited as this young family made their way safely across the intersection. What happened in that intersection was a miracle. Not a miracle that defies the laws of nature, not a miracle that restored sight to the blind couple, not a miracle that removed all the selfishness and greed from the hearts of those who witnessed it, but a miracle by which patience and understanding became real in the hearts of many harried and distracted motorists. A miracle by which a sense of unity and common concern emerged from so many vehicles separated and isolated from one another. A miracle by which compassion and a respect for human life manifested itself in the midst of city traffic. Now that miracle points to the miracle of Christmas. Because what happened on that first Christmas was not that Christ came and changed the world, but that Christ entered our broken and divided world. Christ did not come and destroy all evil, but came to become one of us. And Christ is now able to stand with us as we face the evil that remains. This is why we should not become discouraged when we see how much is wrong with the world and troublesome in our own lives. The troubles of life are not a distraction from Christmas. They are the necessary human context in which the meaning of Christmas becomes clear. We are the people who gather here today and believe that despite all the turmoil in the world and the issues in our own life, God is with us. And if God has become human and is with us, then there is always reason for courage, always reason for hope, even reason for joy. We are the people who believe that compassion and peace and love can suddenly emerge, even in the presence of trouble, even in the presence of grief, even in the midst of a busy intersection. Yes, life goes on much as it did before, but what we celebrate today is the truth that the world has indeed changed. It is changed because God has become human. God has become part of the world, the real world, the world in which we live. This explains why even in a broken world, we can still honestly sing songs of joy and peace. This justifies why even in a world where there is so much that is wrong, we can still wish each other a blessed and Merry Christmas.